Welcome back to part 2 of the Maura Murray episode. Now we're going to talk about the arrival of the police at the scene.
According to the official police log, at 7:46 p.m., a Haverhill police officer arrived at the scene, but the woman driver had disappeared. No one was in sight or around the car. The car had impacted the tree on the driver's side of the vehicle, severely damaging the lift headlight and pushing the car's radiator into the fan, rendering it inoperable.
So, a police officer arrived at 7:46, right?
Yes.
No, sorry. I was going back to see what time they had called it, the sheriff's department. It was at 7:43. So 3 minutes later, they showed up.
Yeah, apparently.
She was in there.
Yeah.
But someone saw her there by the car, right? The bus driver?
Yes.
Talked to her?
The Butch Atwood.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, maybe she had a head wound.
She wasn't injured or anything.
She wasn't injured, but the car was, right?
Well, the car wasn't injured.
Well, not injured, but you know what I mean, right?
Someone's watching too much Cars.
The movie, that cartoon movie. It's injured like McQueen.
Car's windshield was cracked on the driver's side, and both airbags had deployed. The car was locked. Inside the outside car, he discovered red stains that looked like red wine.
And she did have wine with her, right?
Yeah,
she had like a bunch of alcohol.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe she took off because she had thought that when the cops see the red stains, they're going to think she was drinking and driving?
Probably.
And maybe that's why she took off. Maybe she bumped her head.
Yeah.
And she got, disoriented. And
yeah, but
the
the Butch Atwood said she wasn't injured.
She
yeah.
wasn't injured or anything?
Mm-mm. But yeah, she had a lot of alcohol.
I wonder if she was drinking any on the way.
Maybe.
But I think he would have said, though, if he smoked
alcohol in her breath. Yeah, true.
Inside the car, the officer found an empty beer bottle and a damaged box of Franzia wine on the rear seats. In addition, he found a AAA card issued to Murray, blank accident report forms, gloves, compact discs, makeup, diamond jewelry, driving directions to Burlington, Vermont, Murray's favorite stuffed animal, and Not Without Peril, a book about mountain climbing in the White Mountains.
Okay, well, so if they found an empty beer bottle, well, obviously
she was drinking. Yeah.
So maybe if she hit the tree, if she had one beer, of course, they're not really going to smell it unless she burped or something.
Yep.
So, but then again, she was probably worried that when the cops come, they're going to see all that and they're going to want to take a breathalyzer test.
Yeah.
So maybe she did take off in the woods and she got lost.
Maybe.
Maybe when she saw the cops coming, she took off and...
That is a theory.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm pretty sure you can see the lights, right? Coming a mile away.
Yeah.
But they didn't check to see if there was footprints on the snow.
Oh yeah.
Because apparently there was
seen
snow.
that too.
Right. Unless.
Did they ever mention about looking for her in the woods when they couldn't find her, or did they just?
Well, they searched the area after.
Unless it was
snowing,
I don't know if it was covering the tracks.
Well, that's true too. But I don't think it was snowing that night. Yeah.
Wow. Unless she did get picked up.
Yeah.
Maybe after the bus driver, someone else came and she got in the car with that person. But didn't they use or am I thinking of another case where they used bloodhounds for the sniffer dogs?
Mm-hmm.
And where they picked up a scent and then after a while it stopped somewhere in the middle of the road?
Yeah, I think so.
I think they did. I think they did.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Really?
And they lost the scent on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking if she started walking, but then I would say the cops probably would have
seen something?
Unless she walked a little bit further away where they wouldn't see her.
Oh, and like a car picked her up?
Yeah, and then a car picked her up there. Like after, they left and whatever, she hitchhiked.
Yeah. I don't know, that's
crazy.
Yeah.
And scary.
Yep.
Missing were Murray's debit card, credit cards, and cell phone, none of which had been located or used since her disappearance.
So she took her debit card with her, right?
Yeah.
And all of her credit cards and her cell phone.
And she was, and they would call her. Did they ever call her cell phone?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure they would.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they would.
Did they ever mention about pinging her cell phone?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they would do that too.
Right.
Yeah, I'm hoping they would.
Well, take your credit cards if you're not going to use them.
Right. Maybe that theory is right. Maybe she took everything the cards to start a new life.
Right.
Maybe she went off, but she didn't want to leave those because they're important.
Well, that's true. I don't know.
It's important. Well, you want to leave your...
Whatever she planned on doing, she was going to take the important things with her.
Yeah.
That's true.
It makes sense.
The police later reported some of the bottles of purchased liquor were also missing.
So she took her liquor with her?
She took some liquor with her, too.
See, this is another weird thing.
Has anyone... I mean, we haven't mentioned about any of her other friends missing or anything, right?
I don't think so.
No.
Right? I wonder if she met someone and she just wanted to run away with him.
That's one theory that someone said.
Yeah?
That someone was following her. Like one of her friends was following her.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's in the theory of...
Starting a new life?
Yeah.
But when you're starting a new life, how are you going to get a social security card? A whole new social security card?
The dark web.
The only way I see how they did it was when I was watching that movie Enough with Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
And she had moved to another city.
Mm-hmm.
So she went through the obituaries to find someone who had passed away and took her name and all that. So she can get the social security and the license, driver's license. And I mean, that was the movie. I don't know if they
True.
do that in real life, but
I don't know.
how do you do it though?
You have to have connections.
Yeah, I guess.
But if someone was following her or someone was nearby, I mean, wouldn't Butch have seen them?
Well, right? When that lady said she saw 2 cars instead of just one?
Yeah, it's true.
I would think that her friend would pull over and be like, hey, are you okay? Okay, well, let's just go.
Maybe they weren't like behind her.
Maybe they were traveling like 2 or 3 hours later.
Like maybe minutes. Because she said didn't they say there was like 4 minutes in between? No one saw her?
Yeah, 3 minutes because the guy had called at 7:43 to the sheriff's reporting it, and then 6 minutes later, it's when they showed up.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe he was behind her and he met up with her later down the street.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to get at?
Could, yeah.
Or he or she.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting.
Police traced the vehicle to Murray and initially treated her as a missing person on the belief that she may have wanted to disappear voluntarily. This speculation was based on her travel preparation, which she had confided nothing to friends or family, and no obvious evidence of foul play.
Well, obviously she didn't know when because she was leaving, right?
Yeah, she didn't tell anybody.
So...
I'm starting to think more and more, maybe she did leave.
Yeah.
On purpose?
She did want to go. Like, she wanted to...
The fact that she didn't tell nobody.
Mm-hmm.
But they can never figure out why, right? Because she didn't really have anything bad going on other than her sister's drinking problem.
Yeah.
Right? The night before she left?
Mm-hmm. It's just weird. But why tell the university that she had a death in her family?
And that she was going to be... But that was the only person that she told anything to, right?
She was going to go somewhere.
For me, makes me think that she just needed, like, a couple of weeks to herself.
Yeah.
And she was planning to come back.
Mm-hmm.
But unless those couple of weeks that she was, like, wherever she is or what...
Yeah.
She enjoyed it and just thought, like, I don't want to go back. And maybe she felt like if she called her family and told them, like, hey, you know what? I love my life over here right now.
They would try to talk her back into it.
Yeah, and they were going to try to convince her to go back, and maybe she just didn't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, give them a heads up. I mean, you know what I'm trying to get at? I mean, at least be like, hey, I'm okay, but don't come looking for me or don't come over here trying to
I'll call you.
I'll call you.
Yeah.
She's not even doing that.
Mm-mm.
In 2009, Murray's case was given to the New Hampshire Cold Case Division, and authorities are handling it as a suspicious missing persons case.
I can see why.
Yeah.
Maybe she met someone online.
Well, true, but you think they
would... a weirdo and she just can't have contact with nobody right now. You know what I'm trying to get at?
Yes.
Because around that time, that's when the whole online chatting started happening and all that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she met someone online.
But they didn't check her, accounts?
I mean, I don't think they did. They haven't mentioned anything about doing that. Did they mention anywhere that they went through her computer or...
No.
Or maybe back then they didn't have the sources to do it?
That could
maybe
be.
That, yeah.
Because I think it's just after 2000 something is when they were able to track.
Yeah. I wonder if they got, phone records, for her text.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was something they were able to do.
Yeah. Now we're going to talk about an alleged sighting.
Between 8 and 8:30 p.m., a contractor returning home from Franconia saw a young person moving quickly on foot eastbound on Route 112, about 4 to 5 miles east of where Murray's vehicle was discovered. He noted that the young person was wearing jeans, a dark coat, and a light-colored hood.
I wonder if that's what she was wearing.
I don't know.
But you know what, though? He didn't mention about her carrying anything with her.
That's true.
And
He didn't see bottles or
anything. They had said that she had taken some alcohol.
Yeah. Maybe she put them in her pocket.
The alcohol, were they little sample alcohols?
Well, I don't know.
I would think that they were probably bigger than that. And they
True.
were missing.
Yeah.
Unless she got tired and she just left it.
Just dropped it. I'm not gonna carry this.
It's too heavy. Well, I mean, he knew what she was wearing. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm surprised he didn't mention about her carrying anything.
Right.
Unless she had a backpack and she put it in there.
Okay, that's true. But it doesn't say him.
Anything about a backpack.
Yeah. That would make sense.
He did not report it to the police immediately due to his own confusion of dates, only discovering 3 months later that he had spotted the young person on the same night Murray disappeared. The responding officer and the bus driver drove around the area searching for Murray.
And he only realized that when he was going through work records, right?
Yeah.
Just before 8 p.m., EMS and a fire truck arrived to clear the scene. By 8:49 p.m., the car had been towed to a local garage. At about 9:30 p.m., the responding officer left. A rag believed to have been part of Murray's emergency roadside kit was discovered stuffed into the Saturn's muffler pipe.
That's another thing that was interesting about the rag and the muffler.
But what does that mean, though, when someone puts a rag in the muffler? Like, what is it supposed to do?
I don't know. I think her father said...
Was it something that she did a lot, or...
that they would do it. It would help something with the car.
Oh, okay.
But then people were saying that you shouldn't do that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because isn't the exhaust supposed to come out through there, right?
Yeah.
So if you're putting it, then aren't you kind of like ruining your car?
Yeah. I think people were speculating that maybe someone's like put it in there so it can stop.
See?
At a gas station, maybe.
Yeah. And they weren't expecting her to hit a tree or anything.
Yeah.
But didn't we watch a YouTube video where they proved that wrong?
What?
That a rag in the pipe won't stop it.
Yeah. That's what they were saying too. See, it's a weird case.
It is. Everything's weird about it.
Everything.
Authorities will refer to Murray as simply missing at 12 p.m. the next day, almost 24 hours after the last confirmed sighting of her.
So it took them the next day to report her missing?
Yeah, I think it takes 24 hours to be official.
Yeah. Which is kind of like dumb. Okay, now we're going to talk about the search effort.
At 12:36 p.m. the following day, February 10th, a be on the lookout report for Murray was issued. She was reported as wearing a dark coat, jeans, and a black backpack. A voicemail was left on Fred Murray's home answering machine at 3:20 p.m., stating that her car had been found abandoned. He was working out of state and did not receive the call. At 5 p.m., Murray's older sister contacted her father to tell him of the situation. He then contacted the Haverhill Police Department and was told that if Murray was not reported safe by the following morning, the New Hampshire Fish and Game Department would start a search.
So she had a backpack.
She had a backpack.
Yeah.
Wait, but who knew she had a backpack, though? See,
Hey, that's true.
Right?
How did no one saw?
Because the driver that saw her that day that he was driving around only described what she was wearing. But
Yeah,
he never
which
said
was... Didn't it say a dark coat?
Yeah, exactly.
You see?
So he saw her, obviously, because he described everything
Except the backpack.
except for the backpack. But if it was a black backpack...
But maybe she dropped it.
She dropped it?
But they never found it.
That's what I'm saying, that she probably has to have it with her. He just probably didn't see it on her. Because if
True.
you're driving by, you're not really...
In the dark.
It's in dark. You're not really like... You're not slowing down, like real slow to see what... You're just like, oh yeah, she was wearing this. I'm going back to where he was describing her. But like, maybe that's where she put the liquor.
Mm-hmm. In her backpack?
In her backpack. Because then also too, her wallet and her care cards are missing, and if it wasn't... Like,
it's not in her pocket, it's in her
pocket, it's
backpack.
in her backpack.
True. They need to find the backpack.
Yeah. But that's even if she dropped it anywhere. But I would assume that they would have found it already if she dropped it somewhere.
Yeah, I think if she would have dropped it, they probably would have found it.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe someone got her, but she escaped and left the backpack with them. And that's when the guy saw her in a rush. But you think she would have asked for help?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, I would.
Right.
She would try to flag him down and be like, "Hey, someone just tried to grab me."
Mm-hmm.
Probably would have been frantic about it too.
Yeah. He probably would have said like she was distressed.
Yeah.
He described her as just walking.
Yep. So that's another weird thing.
At 5:17 p.m., Maura was first referred to as missing by the Haverhill police. On February 11th, Maury's father arrived before dawn in Haverhill. At 8 p.m., New Hampshire Fish and Game, the Murrays, and others began to search. A police dog tracked the scent from one of Murray's gloves 100 yards east from where the vehicle had been discovered, but lost the scent. This suggested to police she'd left the area in another car.
See, I'm going with that.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking she was hitchhiking and she just got in the wrong car. You know what I mean?
And she never went in the woods.
Huh?
And she never went in the woods, right?
Yeah, because they the way they described it, I think, was that they were sniffing more in the street area than they were in the wooded
And like
area.
I said, they would have seen footprints.
Yeah.
On the snow. So I think.
Plus, the dogs would have took them that way.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Yeah.
At 5 p.m., Murray's boyfriend and his parents arrived in Haverhill. He was interrogated in private and then joined by his parents for questioning. At 7 p.m., the police said they believed Murray came to the area either to run away or attempted suicide. Her family believed this was unlikely.
I don't think she was.
I'm not leaning towards the suicide.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Get away for a while, maybe.
Yeah, I think getting away for a little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But committing suicide, no.
I don't think so.
Because she wouldn't have been calling or letting the school know that she was going to be gone for. I mean, yes, she lied about the reason why she was taking off.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think maybe they had a strict policy as time off. You know, trying to get at.
Mm-hmm.
So she just,
Yep.
just thought what would be, which is
Because why would she take everything with her?
yeah.
Even her debit cards.
Well, not only that, but if
Or
you're going
debit
to commit
card.
suicide, why go away to commit
another
suicide?
state.
Just commit suicide.
Well,
Yeah.
Like you never heard anyone saying like, "Oh, I'm going to go down to the river and
I'm gonna go to Oklahoma.
I'm going to go to Oklahoma and do it."
Commit suicide.
Oh, exactly. But
Right.
not only that, but like she also had things set up, for her return, right? Because in her dorm room, didn't she have like stuff,
Yeah, her
like,
boxes were still there.
like already packed and I don't know what.
Mm-hmm. What are you thinking of?
Well, I'm thinking that unless, since she liked that condo where her family went to all the time, and she was planning it, and that was her destination because that was her like home away from home, and she wanted to be somewhere where she's familiar with, I guess.
Yeah.
And wanted to do it there, but then again, she was bringing alcohol.
Why go through? Yeah, she was bringing alcohol.
But and then school too, right? They never said like if she was doing badly in it, she wasn't close to failing, she wasn't like having a hard time.
I haven't heard reports of that.
I'm leaning towards she met someone online. I feel like maybe she was gonna meet someone online, and that was their.
Back then, how would you meet someone online?
Well,
like
back then,
chat rooms.
the chat rooms.
Yeah, I
Remember
think
the
so.
chat rooms?
Chat
Or
rooms.
was it MySpace? When did MySpace?
Yeah, MySpace too.
Yeah, it popped up and.
Yeah.
Maybe, from there, or even like playing games. Remember when you would play games on the computer and you have that little chat?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe from there, and she just met up with a weirdo that she thought was safe, and he just wasn't.
True.
And no one's really gonna know because
No one knew about him.
no one. Yeah, she was real private about it because maybe she had a boyfriend,
True.
and that's why there's a lot of theories that can go on.
Mm-hmm. A lot of rabbit holes.
Well, that could have been her plan, but maybe she got picked up on the way.
But I think too, if she was gonna meet somebody, I think when he come forward and to say like, "Hey, well, she was planning to meet me here and she didn't show up," so we could kind of like narrow it down
Yeah.
that it was possible that she did get picked up by someone.
It could be possible.
Unless the person she was meeting up is the one that did it,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
and he doesn't want to come forward.
Right? We'll see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because maybe they were gonna. Maybe she was like, this road right here. I go down this road to go over there to this place. Meet me somewhere around there, and you can just follow me. And then she got into her car accident, and she didn't want it to,
Yeah.
to like get all messed up.
Mm-hmm.
She just took off walking like, oh, he's meeting me over there anyway. I'm like this far away, so I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah. Could be true.
Right?
It's a theory.
Murray's boyfriend had turned off his cell phone during his flight to Haverhill. At some point, he received a voicemail that he believed was the sound of Murray sobbing. The call was traced to a calling card issued to the American Red Cross.
American Red Cross issued calling cards?
I've heard about that. Well, not that they issue calling cards, but about the crying. That he heard her crying. But what does the calling card have to do with a person crying or sobbing?
Well, I think he was trying to say, like trying to, I guess, let him know, like, when they traced the call was, I guess somehow they were able to trace where the call was coming from, and they saw it was issued through an American Red Cross, but doesn't she have her own phone, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why would she need...
But no, they're saying it's not her.
Oh, they're saying that it was not her?
No, yeah.
Then who was calling?
They're saying it was someone from the Red Cross.
The Red Cross calling him?
Yeah.
What?
Something like that. I don't understand that part.
So he thought it was more
her crying.
And it turned out it wasn't. It was someone from the American Red Cross calling him and crying.
Well, not crying.
Or sobbing.
It was just, that was doing sobbing. Maybe it was a bad connection. And he heard. This whole case is, I'm telling you, again, crazy.
On February 12th, Murray's father and her boyfriend held an evening press conference in Bethlehem, New Hampshire, and the next day the first press coverage was published. At 3:05 p.m., the police reported Murray might be headed to the Kankamangas Highway area, and she was listed as endangered and possibly suicidal.
Where did they get suicidal from, though? Is it because...
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Is it because she didn't report to nobody, or because she was crying the night before about her sister?
Yeah.
I just want to know where they get the suicidal from.
It's just crazy.
I'm just wondering if they're basing it off because she was kind of upset about what her sister was telling her the night before she took off.
My sister's drinking again. Let me go commit suicide.
Well, yeah, that's what
Doesn't
I'm saying.
make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
And that's why I'm wondering if, like, there was some kind of stuff going on in the family that they're just not saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to get at? And I get it because that's your personal business, but if it's going to help save your daughter, I mean, just say, like, yeah, we have family issues, you know, this, and this, and that, but nothing bad happened to her at school. And that's where I'm, like, kind of not worried about, but, like, trying to figure out where they're thinking she's suicidal. If there's really no evidence to say that she was being suicidal. Has she been suicidal in the past?
I never heard of it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Because I can understand if in the past, and they can be like, okay, like, she's been down this road before, so, like, you know, she's...
No, she has. They're not reporting it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
The family needs to say something.
Well, yeah.
Or they had to say something.
I'm still with the thought that if she was going to commit suicide, why leave to town. Do it?
Yeah, because you don't hear most cases where they leave town and...
If you're going to do it, you just do it.
Maybe if she was visiting that town and decides to do it right then and there, okay. Like, you know what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah.
But if she's taking off to another town to go do it, I don't know.
A lot of rabbit holes.
The police report also stated that Murray was intoxicated at the crash site, although the bus driver said she did not appear impaired. The Haverhill police chief said that our concern is that she's upset or suicidal.
Oh, now it's or she's suicidal. Before she is suicidal. Oh, well, how did they know she was intoxicated? Only by that one bottle of beer that was empty?
That's what they're assuming, yeah.
But just one bottle of beer, you're not intoxicated.
Like, well, but remember, she had
the box wine.
The box wine, and then...
Yeah.
Did she drink the box wine too?
Well, it was all over her car, remember?
Yeah, that's a lot of
but, like,
wine.
but maybe when she hit, it like, broke or something. It was a box wine?
I think it was even...
Yeah, it was a box. So. Maybe when it... How would it get on the top?
3 liters of wine.
On top of the car?
3 liters
No,
of wine.
like the ceiling.
Oh. Now I'm going to have to get some box wine and do some of the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of wine. Quite a bit.
So they think that maybe she drank the beer and the wine?
But it's just... How would the wine get on the seating of her car?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That maybe on the point of impact, it, like...
Maybe she
exploded and just kind of, like, went everywhere.
If she had it in her hand, maybe. And the wheel's right here.
Okay, but...
She hits, it splashes up, maybe.
Oh, unless she drank the beer, put the wine in the bottle.
Well, yeah, but remember, she took bottles with her.
Was it bottle wine or box?
It was boxed wine. But
how would she drink it, though? Like, did she have a glass?
Well, maybe she had a cup.
Well, did they find a cup? No, they found a beer bottle. So I bet she put wine in the beer bottle.
Well, they didn't try...
do that with the box wine.
Yeah, but they didn't try looking in the bottle. It would have smelled like wine.
I think they just assumed that...
But remember, she took liquor with her wherever she ran. So I don't know. This whole liquor thing is getting me confused.
Well, it's confusing me too.
Yeah.
Because because box wine, right? Like with box wine, you have to like pour it like that, like.
Yeah, you gotta pour in a glass. Yeah,
that's a spout or something like that.
Yeah, it's a spout.
So I'm thinking like maybe like you said, she had it in the beer bottle, and when she crashed, maybe she went like that with the bottle, and it just went in the ceiling and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just throwing things here.
Me too.
They have pictures, though, of the inside of the car?
They might have, right?
Yeah, I think there's... Yeah, there is. I'll look. I'll post them on our social medias.
A week after Murray's disappearance, her father and boyfriend were interviewed by CNN's American Morning. Murray's family expanded their search into Vermont. It is made that authorities there had not been informed of her disappearance. Although missing person cases are normally handled by local and state police, the FBI joined the investigation 10 days after she disappeared.
Okay, so the Vermont authorities had not been informed of her disappearance?
Yeah.
There's a Vermont area, they didn't know.
But did they need to know? Because...
Well, just in case she went that direction.
Oh.
Oh, because wasn't she going to Vermont?
I think so.
Oh,
yeah, that's where she was going.
So they can put out
be on the lookout.
Yeah, be on the lookout for this person.
Yeah.
Just in case she made it.
Yeah.
Bolo.
Bolo.
Bolo. Is that what's called, a bolo?
Be on the lookout.
Oh.
The FBI interviewed family from Massachusetts, and the Haverhill police chief announced that the search was now nationwide. 10 days after her disappearance, New Hampshire Fish and Game conducted a second ground and air search using a helicopter with a thermal imaging camera, tracking dogs and cadaver dogs. Murray's older sister discovered a ripped pair of white woman's underwear laying in the snow on the secluded trail near French Pond Road on February 26. The DNA test found that the underwear did not belong to Maura.
But since it didn't belong to her, are they going to, look for whoever it belonged to?
How did they not know it was hers?
Yeah.
Not hers.
But I'm sure they'll find a way.
Right.
At the end of February, the police returned the items found in Maura's car to her family. On March 2nd, the family checked out of their hotel exhausted from the search. Friend Murray returned nearly every weekend to continue searching. In April, Haverhill police informed him of complaints of trespassing on private property.
Oh, yeah, because I think he would always walk on their property.
Oh, yeah, because it was in the neighborhood area type, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like one of those roads where you have houses.
Yep.
And
if you're looking for your missing daughter, I don't think you're going to care about
exactly
going on private property.
I would have not, okay, I'm looking in your backyard again, I don't care.
You'd be straight up like that?
Yeah, I would be like, hey, I'm still looking for my kid, man, so when you want to walk with me?
Yeah.
I think anyone who has kids
would
understand.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think those neighbors that are complaining probably don't have
kids. Or
they just don't care.
Yeah.
At that point, they already are like, you know what, it's been already this and you still haven't found her, you switched over. But, I guess, the weather conditions and all that kind of didn't help matters, too.
Yeah.
It being, wintertime and all that. So, I mean, you hear cases where when the weather's just right, they discovered this, or they discovered,
that.
Probably what he was doing.
Yeah.
March 2004 disappearance of Brianna Maitland in Montgomery, Vermont, 66 miles away from Murray's last sighting in Woodsville, drew comparisons from media and law enforcement due to the similarities in disappearances. However, state police have stated there are no links between the two cases.
How does she wind up missing?
She went missing on her way back from work.
On the way back from work?
Yeah, she was on her way home from work. And they found her car, backed up into, a old ranch house.
Backed up?
Yeah,
did she hit anything? Did they say, or...?
Just a house. That's what's weird how it was parked there.
Yeah? So do they assume, maybe she might have hit something and spun that way, or...?
It kind of looked like it was just placed there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be someone around that neighborhood that nobody really knows about.
Yeah.
Maybe one of those, that's so-and-so, he keeps to himself, or...
Mm-hmm. The Israel Keys was suspected of her, too.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for it to be almost similar...
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she wasn't there, but they haven't found her either?
No.
She's
still missing, yeah. Mm-mm. But her situation is a little different.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In April and again in June, New Hampshire and Vermont police dismissed any connection between Murray's case and Maitland's. In a press release, they stated they believed that Maura was headed for an unknown destination and may have accepted a ride in order to continue to that location, adding that they had discovered no evidence that a crime had been committed. They dismissed the possibility of a serial killer being involved.
So they don't think it's a serial killer. They're sticking to the suicide?
No, I think maybe they're trying to say like she just hitched a ride to wherever she was trying to go. I think that's where they put that suspicious missing person.
Yeah.
Because I think they feel like since the dogs stopped the scent right in the middle of the road, they thought that maybe
she got in a car.
She just got in a car with somebody and
met her killer.
Yeah.
I think that would be the only explanation as to why the dogs didn't get any more scent.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yep.
But I wonder, the truck driver that saw her, was it near the car accident or was it a little bit further from the car accident?
Probably further.
So then at that time then, did the dogs smell around there? You see?
I'm not sure.
But then again, they stopped. And I'm wondering if maybe if they stopped, if they took them a little bit further where they saw the truck driver saw her, if they can catch a scent there somewhere.
True. I'm not sure they did that though.
Yeah, I don't think
you think they should have.
I think once they see they stop. They don't.
Yeah.
Have caused us to, because I guess in their mind they're thinking.
Yeah.
Well, she got in the car to ride, but then that truck driver or that driver saw her, so I think I would have been like, well, you know what? Where is it that they saw her? And then take my dogs over there.
Yeah.
And see what they sniff.
That's true.
On July 1st, police retrieved the items found in Murray's vehicle from her family for forensic analysis. On July 13th, a 1-mile radius search was performed by nearly 100 researchers, including state troopers, rescue personnel, and volunteers. It was the fourth search around the crash area and the first search performed without snow on the ground.
So they redid it when the snow was already,
So why would they do that?
Well, I think maybe because they can find something better because
when it melts.
When it melts.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe something's hidden by the snow.
Yeah.
And
but then again, wouldn't the snow kind of like ruin any kind of evidence that's there?
Yeah, possibly like DNA maybe.
Yeah.
And it washed away.
Washed away.
I wonder why they wouldn't have done the forensic analysis before giving it to them in the first place.
True. They started taking it serious?
I guess so.
I guess. Maybe they thought that she was going to show up, maybe call the family members. And
yeah, but never.
Like I said, I think in the very beginning they probably took it as, well, she knew where she was going. The dog scent stopped at a certain spot, so at that point she just hitched a ride.
Yeah.
Authorities were most interested in locating the black backpack Murray had in her possession, but not found in her car. Police stated the search discovered nothing conclusive.
She took it with her.
She took it with her.
Yep, she has it with her.
Yeah.
In late 2004, a man allegedly gave Murray's father a rusty stained knife that belonged to the man's brother, who had a criminal past and lived less than a mile where the car was discovered. His brother and his brother's girlfriend were said to have acted strangely after the disappearance, and the man's brother claimed he believed the knife had been used to kill Murray. Several days after the knife was given to Murray's father, the man's brother allegedly scrapped his Volvo.
Oh, you see?
Was that the one that was in the red A-framed house?
I have no idea. That kind of, whether it's a true statement or not, I want to lean towards that kind of theory, though. Like she was just picked up by the wrong person.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards that, too.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think so.
This is a random man, right?
Yeah. Who saw an opportunity
and took it. He did it real fast.
Yeah. He's not going to come forward anytime, no matter how many people are on the case researching.
Do you think he lives in that area?
I think he might live in the area, but I'm thinking, like, what if he's that type of person that lives out in the boonies somewhere where, like, people know of him, but no one really pays too much to him because he's just more, like just one of those to themselves type kind of guy, like really to themselves, like, oh, that's old man Jack, no one messes with him.
Yeah.
Family members of the man who turned in a knife claimed he had made up the story in order to obtain reward money in the investigation. That he had a history of drug use.
When he was given the knife, though, did the dad give it to the police to do, like, DNA testing?
I believe so. I'm assuming he would.
Right?
That he'd be smart enough to do that.
Yeah.
But they never said anything about it, though, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Right away, the man's family was all like, no, well, don't pay attention to him, because... But, when people who they assume are just, like, not in their head and they're just coming up with stuff...
Yeah.
I mean... What makes it seem that maybe at this point he might be telling the truth, though? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, maybe, in the past, before, he's always been one to make up stories.
Mm-hmm.
But what if this time he's like...
But, like, if they said that he did it for the reward money?
Yeah.
he just gave him a knife. He didn't give her the body. He didn't give him the body. You know what I mean?
He didn't say anything like she's in this location or whatever. To me, I felt like maybe he was like, here, get it tested.
Yeah, because if there's DNA on it, you can investigate further, especially if it's hers.
Yeah, if he did it for the money, how would they help get the reward money?
Well, that's the thing. Like, they're trying to make it seem like he wanted that reward money because now he has money and he has money to go get his drugs or whatever.
Well, yeah, but
he has a history of drugs.
He didn't solve the case.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they wanted... Right, because the reward money is if you know where the body's at, you know where she's at. But
you know what happened.
Well, here, I found this.
A blade and a rusted knife.
And you would think they would just go get it tested. Was it rusted with red stuff, or was it just like a rusted old knife?
Might have had...
See, it was stained.
Yeah.
So I would think like... Well, for one, I think if I was the dad, I'd been like, well, why are you giving it to me? Go give it to the
police.
Cops. But maybe he felt like...
They wouldn't believe him?
They wouldn't believe him because like, oh, that's Sam. He's always coming up with some shit, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I would have been like on the police, hey, go get this tested.
Yeah.
You know, it's stained. This guy's saying this. It's, you know, maybe it's far-fetched, but, you know, maybe not that far-fetched. Cause,
drug dealer or not, if it leads to something.
Yeah, exactly.
In 2005, Fred Murray petitioned New Hampshire Governor Gary Benson for help in the search and appeared on the Montel Williams show in November 2004 to publicize the case. On February 9, 2005, the first anniversary of Murray's disappearance, a service was held where the car was found, and her father met briefly with New Hampshire Governor John Lynch. In late 2005, Fred Murray filed suit against several law enforcement agencies with the aim of seeing files in the case.
So he wanted them to share the files with him?
I think they were being kind of like sketchy about it.
Yeah. The investigation?
Mm-hmm. Which kind of goes back to the bus driver. Remember where everyone thought that maybe he was kind of like a suspect too, because was he ever considered a suspect, the bus driver?
No, I don't think so.
That people had thought
I think they're just some theories. I mean, some, very little.
But you never know either.
Mm-hmm.
Is it considered like a small town, that area?
Yeah.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
So, what if like small towns like that have like, you know, they protect their own?
True.
Unless it was one of the cops.
That's another theory.
That maybe he did something with her and they're just covering it up.
Yeah.
Because might also too, because if you think about it too, maybe she called someone to come help her, and that's why she was telling the bus driver like, don't call it cops or whatever, because she's been drinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he went ahead and did it, and when the cops showed up, maybe
she was gone.
She was like, you know, kind of like, oh, I'm good, like, no, you can go ahead and go, and maybe he got kind of like forceful with her.
I don't know. Yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm trying to get at, right? Like, I don't know how to word it right, but like maybe like what? Because cops usually they drive alone, right? It's whether they have like a partner with them.
Some have partners.
In small towns like that, though, it's
just
them, right?
Yeah.
It's just one person.
Yeah.
So maybe he showed up. Maybe words were exchanged. Maybe he tried something on her. Maybe.
Just like the lady said that she saw a cop SUV.
Right.
A police officer's SUV.
There.
Yeah, on the scene. But no, she didn't see anyone though.
Did she smoke though? Because she said that she saw someone smoking in the car, right?
Yeah, but she thinks now it was from the cell phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at first she thought someone was smoking. That lady that lives across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said she saw someone smoking, but it turned out she said it might have been from a cell phone.
On November 1st, 2005, a user named Tom Davies logged into a message board called Not Without Peril, which was dedicated to the discussion of Murray's disappearance. I claimed to have seen a black backpack behind a restroom at Pemigewasset Overlook, around 30 miles east of Woodsville on Route 112. Murray had owned a black backpack.
Oh, what?
So there's the backpack, if it's true.
But he didn't like go in there and like open it up and see what was there, or
apparently not.
He didn't bother calling the cops saying like, "Hey, I found a black backpack," and didn't she have one?
Yeah, why would you log into a thing instead of calling the cops?
Right.
Right?
Maybe he did call the cops and then posted it.
Senior Assistant Attorney General Jeffrey Silson stated that law enforcement was aware of the backpack, but did not disclose whether it had been taken from forensic testing.
So they were aware of it.
So they just didn't say it. They took it for
the analysis.
Yeah. Unless
maybe
searched,
it wasn't anything.
and it just wasn't anything to say it was hers.
Yeah.
So they just didn't bother with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would hate to think
that they just took it.
Yeah, I would just hate to think that they were aware of it, but they didn't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they do that, then that's just insinuating that one on their own.
They're covering up.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the subsequent searches from 2006 to 2010.
The New Hampshire League of Investigators, 10 retired police officers and detectives, and the Molly Bish Foundation started working on the case in 2006. Tom Shumshak, a former police chief and a member of the Licensed Private Detectives Association of Massachusetts, said, "It appears that this is something beyond a mere missing persons case. Something ominous could have happened here."
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's all like...
Yeah.
And the whole thing is just like... She didn't sit still, though. Like, I know she didn't want the cops to come because she had to be here, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But she just took off. I don't know. I would think like any normal person would have been just like, okay, I'm just going to wait until someone... Cause I'm pretty sure she had to have called somebody to come and help her. But I don't know. Because then I get confused as where the dog, caught her scent and then it just didn't catch it no more.
Yeah.
So she just started walking.
Mm-hmm.
Unless she wanted it to make it staged, like she, I don't know.
It's just weird, but it's all fishy, yeah.
So the lady across the street, she didn't say she just when she saw the cop, she just left it alone, like she didn't investigate or anything. I
guess so.
She's not. She's. I'm just saying because a couple of nights ago, over there in our apartment, fire trucks were there.
Yeah.
And the whole time that they were there, me and Kelly kept looking out the window to see what was going on. You know what I'm trying to get at? Like, I was still being nosy when... If I wasn't being nosy, she was being nosy. Like, you know what I'm trying to get at? So, that's why I'm saying, once the cop was there, she just kind of okay, I'm going back to bed. They didn't talk to her.
They probably interviewed her, but...
And that was it?
Maybe she just saw and then went back to bed, I guess.
And just, left it there?
Yeah.
Like she didn't...
The Arkansas group, Let's Bring Them Home, offered a $75,000 reward in 2007 and information that saw for disappearance. In October 2006, volunteers led a 2-day search within a few miles of where Murray's car was found. In the closet of an A-frame house approximately 1 mile from the crash site, cadaver dogs allegedly went bonkers, possibly identifying the presence of human remains. The house had formerly been the residence of the man implicated by his brother, who had given Fred Murray the rusty knife in 2004.
And you see, and look, they didn't have reward money until after the fact. So when the family was going around saying that he did it for money, for reward money, was money issued around that time? Because I'm going back.
I don't know.
Well, no, I'm saying
again.
None of the notes that we have here say that they were giving out reward money at that time.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe.
Yeah, something to do with it.
He did have something to do with it, but the family alone doesn't want him implicated. Just the brother.
Yeah.
Because the dogs was going crazy.
Did they say the evidence came out negative or whatever?
No, they never mentioned it.
No, it says right here that they took a sample of the carpet, but they never disclosed the...
Yeah,
findings.
but the knife itself, they never said if they did any kind of testing on it or anything.
Yeah.
That right away, his family came out saying that the brother was all into drugs and just wanted the reward money, and that was it.
Yeah, the family said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, why would you go and dismantle your brother's Volvo car? And where's the brother right now?
What are you talking about?
The guy who had given Maury's dad the knife?
Yeah, but what about the Volvo?
Okay. That house that the dogs went crazy, that was his brother's house, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying that when he had given Fred the knife, right, that they never said if they did any kind of testing on it.
Yeah.
And then later on it said that didn't the brother wind up dismantling his brother's Volvo?
Yeah.
The car and whatever?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that maybe there was evidence in there. And maybe it just got to him and he was just like, well, here.
Because why else would you destroy the car?
I'm going to destroy the car, but I'm going to give you this. You know what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah.
But the whole thing is the family stopped it before.
Yeah.
But still, though, you would think being in the with the police force, it would have been like, well, we still got to do it before, what does that say? Innocent before proven guilty or whatever?
A sample of the carpet from the home was sent to the New Hampshire State Police, but the results were never released to the public. In July 2008, volunteers led another 2-day search through wooded areas in Haverhill. The group consisted of dog teams and licensed private investigators. Murray's case was one of many cited by proponents of a statewide cold case unit for New Hampshire in 2009. Her case was subsequently added to the newly established cold case unit later that year.
And that was in 2009?
Okay, so they went inside the house?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Because the dogs were picking up the scent there.
Yeah.
And so when they did the carpet, but did they like really investigated the house? Like turn it over and
think so.
But like, did they ever say like what was on the carpet?
No.
Well, I wonder if it was bloodstains for them to have to remove it.
True.
Because I would if they had carpet everywhere, or was it just in the closet?
I don't know.
Unless they took it out to not only for blood to see. Maybe it didn't have bloodstains, but maybe they took it out to see if they had like hair strands or something.
Yeah, you think they would have.
To kind of like comb through it.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't her, that means that you kept someone else there then.
Mm-hmm. She killed someone else.
Persons there in the city themselves?
I don't know.
Wow.
In 2010, Fred Murray publicly criticized the police investigation for treating the disappearance of a missing persons case as not a criminal matter, and calling the FBI to join the investigation. Jeffrey Strelzin said in February 2009 that the investigation was still active. We don't know if Maura is a victim, but the state is treating it as a potential homicide. It may be a missing persons case, but it's being handled as a criminal investigation.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Well, because there's so many possibilities,
Mm-hmm.
and it can go anywhere, but it's just like, there's always some kind of dead end.
Yeah.
But I'm not understanding why. Oh, but maybe why they didn't say anything about the public and the carpet, because maybe it did belong to someone else
Right.
that's been missing.
There's another murder to investigate.
Yeah, so it's another murder, and it had nothing to do with her.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they would have said like, oh, we had gotten evidence, but that evidence proven to be not.
From her?
Nah, had nothing to do with her.
Yeah. That's true.
Or they don't even have to say any of that. Just say it was proven not to be hers.
Right? The evidence proved that it wasn't her DNA.
Yeah.
Without having to alert another family that whoever's missing could have been. But did they ever discuss more about that guy who lived there? Like, what kind of person he was? Was he
No, just a little quick snippet.
Is this like out in the boonies area?
I think so.
Right?
Probably, yeah.
Or it's like a house here and there?
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about further developments.
In 2014, on the 10th anniversary of Murray's disappearance, Strelzin stated that we haven't had any credible sightings of Maura since the night she disappeared. In an article published by the New York Daily News on the 10th anniversary of his daughter's disappearance, it was reported that Fred Murray believed she was dead and had been abducted the night of her disappearance.
Yeah, it's sad, but I think he might be right.
I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I had to reread it again. But yeah. Only because she kind of let she let the school know, like, oh yeah, I'm going to be out for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if she wanted to really get away and not have anyone bother with her or deal with her,
yeah,
she wouldn't have called the school. She would just gone up and left and just, be on her own.
Yeah.
Nothing really shows like that she wanted to start a new life or suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing.
On February 9, 2017, the 13th anniversary of Murray's disappearance, Strelzin wrote in an email to the Boston Globe, "It's still an open case with periods of activity, and at times it goes dormant. There are no new updates to share at this time." In February 2019, the 15th anniversary of Murray's disappearance, Fred Murray reiterated his belief that his daughter was dead, as well as his suspicions about the nearby house that cadaver dogs responded to, stating, "That's my daughter, I do believe." In early April, excavation was done within the basement of the house. Fred Murray had previously wanted to search the home, but the owners did not cooperate. Following the sale of the property, its new owners allowed several searches of the property since February. The excavation conducted in early April found absolutely nothing other than that appears to be a piece of pottery or old piping.
Okay, so the new owners of the property allowed searches to happen, but they were just coming up with just pottery and old piping.
Yeah. So they didn't really find anything.
I wonder if they searched like around the area of that house that they had that the dogs caught a
The A-frame?
Yeah.
I'm just assuming they would.
Because maybe like he held her in his closet for a while.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in those stories where you hear
they hold them.
They hold them and they do whatever they want, and then maybe he finally like killed her and like dumped her body there in the river somewhere. If there's a river there.
Mm-hmm.
Did they search rivers, or they just assume because?
I think they just assume that she. I don't know. I can't say yes or no.
I'm curious about that whole carpet thing and why they didn't say anything to the public.
In early 2021, the tree at the site where Murray was last seen, which had been marked with a blue ribbon as a memorial, was cut down by property owner. Shortly thereafter, a request from Murray's family to have a New Hampshire historical marker placed at the site, which had been submitted in late 2020, New Hampshire Division of Historical Resources.
I don't think they're going to allow them to put that historical mark.
Oh, probably not.
No.
Only because it was just an area where she was last seen. It wasn't like that's exactly where she.
That, and it's not like a historical, you know what I mean?
Well, not that it's like it wasn't like big news or anything. But like I said, like they had said here, it goes dormant. Like there's new updates and then it leads to nothing. And you have that long lull where.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's not the first cold case, right?
No.
But I'm still wondering about if there's anyone missing in Vermont.
Oh, there's probably a lot. Yeah, there's probably a lot.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot, but like, I wonder if that guy did anything to anyone. I wonder if they talked to the family.
Right.
Of that guy. Like, hey, we went to your brother's area over there, and I think your other brother might have been telling the truth. Mm-hmm. Not about Maura, but maybe it wasn't Maura's. Maybe the brother was trying to get his brother in trouble.
And another one.
And it was just someone else. You know what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah.
Like, well, this is a major
But then he took it to her dad.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe he did it, like, in the off chance saying, like, oh, okay, well, I know it's not Maura, but let me go and turn my brother in because he did something to this girl here, and...
Yeah, that's true.
It could be the reason why they never said anything about the knife either, because maybe it's a separate case.
Yeah, possible.
That's true.
On September 14th, 2021, New Hampshire State Police announced that bone fragments have been found on Loon Mountain in Lincoln, New Hampshire, approximately 25 miles east of the site of Murray's crash. Murray had been to the mountain before and had knowledge of the area, according to her sister. The bone fragments were described as pretty small, and it was expected to take at least 2 months to determine if they were the remains of Murray or not. In November, it was announced that the remains were not of Murray.
Oh, so they just found some other... Maybe they found, like, Native American bones?
Maybe.
Alright.
Well, yeah.
They're just finding a bunch of stuff other than Murray.
Yeah.
Because they said they were pretty small, but, like, is it small like child small, or was it, like, animal small?
Well, no, they were humans.
They were human remains?
Yeah. But I don't think it was, like, a murder. I think they were saying it was, like, Native Americans.
Oh, so their bones were already, like, they were coming up from the ground? I
think so. Or they found them. They could have been Native Americans, I'm saying.
They could have been Native Americans?
I think that's what I read. But who knows? Maybe I read wrong.
In January 2022, FBI issued a national alert on Murray's case and created a violent criminal apprehension profile, allowing multiple law enforcement agencies to share information regarding her case. In July 2022, law enforcement in New Hampshire initiated a search in the towns of Landaff and Easton.
Is that another area that's near where they found her car?
Probably.
Is it that A-frame house that they were looking around in?
No, I think it was in that area.
Yeah?
The A-frame house was in that. Where the area she was in.
The house probably has, like, human remains underneath his house and all his killings. I will bulldoze it. He probably has a little graveyard in his backyard. Somehow down the road, it's going to come back to him.
Possible.
And by that time, I bet he's going to be already...
Too late.
Too late.
He's dead?
Either he's dead or he's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When least expected.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm just saying, like, also, maybe they're not making it public because maybe they did find something and they don't want to scare him or anything if he's still alive. You know what I'm trying to get at?
Murray's disappearance has been cited as the first crime mystery of the social media age, and generated speculation from media and the public, specifically in the internet and online forums and message boards. Writing for Boston Magazine in 2014, Bill Jensen noted, "Now, at least online, if it often seems like there's no such thing as a cold case, but when Maura Murray disappeared, the social web was in its infancy. There was no YouTube and no Twitter. On the day Maura went missing, Facebook was 5 days old, and so you can read the history of her case as a parable about the evolution of online sleuthing. In 2005, active discussion of Murray's disappearance was documented on websleuths.com, and in 2007, Facebook and MySpace pages were created dedicated to helping find her."
I heard about her from a podcast.
I heard about her through you. But what do you mean there was no YouTube? Because I thought YouTube was already...
Well, yeah, but...
When did YouTube happen? Like, what year did YouTube started coming?
2005.
So YouTube was around.
Yeah, but it wasn't like it was now. Yeah. It was different back than YouTube.
Right? And on YouTube, that's all you saw was videos, right? Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't read on there, you couldn't upload anything yet.
Well, you could, but yeah. It's just, I don't know how they did it, though.
And no ads.
Now it's easy. You choose no ads.
Now you
Every 5 minutes. Let's discuss the different theories. There's one theory is that she went to the woods to commit suicide.
That was one?
That's one. But I don't see it. I don't think it happened.
I think if that would happen, they would have found her already.
Yeah.
Whether it would have been like a year from now, I think at some point they've already...
Eventually they found her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even if she just went to the woods and then froze to death.
Yeah.
They still would have found something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would think she wouldn't go too far in, maybe like halfway in.
Yeah.
To where she's hidden.
Just to hide.
And maybe on the way back she might have gotten lost.
Well, maybe, but then again, they would have found her.
Yeah, they would have found something.
Yeah.
Piece of clothing, the shoe.
The dogs would have picked something up.
There, yeah.
Yep.
Any other theories?
Just
Other than
that
what we're coming up with in our own?
Yeah, just that she got picked up by someone.
Yeah.
I believe that one.
Huh?
I believe that one.
I believe that one more, yeah. I believe that she was sometime between... How many minutes was it? The lady called the cops at 7:40?
Last I heard was like 4.
4 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe she just didn't want to wait and she just took off and
someone else picked her up.
Yeah.
And that person who picked her up killed her?
Yeah, unless someone came by and asked if she needed help and he wouldn't leave her alone, so she just started walking. Well,
True.
No, I mean, I wouldn't know. Because then Will should be walking too, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a long stretch.
Mm-hmm. And then another theory was starting a new life.
Yeah. I was kind of like on that one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started thinking, well, she wouldn't have called the school to let them know she was going to be out.
Mm-hmm.
She was just taking off.
Yep.
And, turn off GPS or location and... is that...
Because then the school would have eventually told the parents when they come looking for her.
Yeah.
And then you're not really starting a new life.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, starting a new life and someone was following her. Helping her start a new life. Like a friend or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the theory was that maybe
she was starting a new life and someone was helping her, like a friend.
Like helping her how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
And following her.
Yeah.
On a car, like in a separate car.
Yeah.
And maybe that person picked her up when her car spun out.
Yeah, that's true.
That's another theory. And there's also a theory of the serial killer Israel Keys.
Okay, I haven't heard of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about him for a little bit.
Who is Israel Keys?
Israel Keys is a serial killer, bank robber, burglar, arsonist, kidnapper, and sex offender who murdered at least 3 victims and committed dozens of other felonies, including armed robbery, arson, rape, and burglary across the United States from July 2001 to February 2012. Born in Utah, Israel Keys grew up homeschooled by his homesteader parents alongside his 8 siblings. By the time he turned 30, he owned a small construction and contracting business in Alaska. While being held for the murder of 18-year-old Samantha Koenig, he died by suicide on December 2nd, 2012 at the age of 34.
So he began his felony spree, I guess, starting 2001, and Maura went missing in 2004?
Yes, I believe so.
So he was still active at that time then?
Yeah.
Supposedly.
But how was he able to start his own small construction company and contracting company if he was under investigation with all this stuff here?
He wasn't convicted.
So even if they're
charged, he was just at that time, I think.
And did they ever say why he killed this Samantha Cohen?
No,
Was Israel Keys actually a serial killer? What defines a serial killer?
Serial killers are defined as having more than 3 victims that they murder over a period of time. This is different from a spree killer who commits their crimes with only hours or days between their killings, or a mass murderer who kills several people at once. Keys has only ever been indisputably linked to the murders of Samantha Koenig in 2012 and is highly suspected of the June 2011 double murder of Bill and Lorraine Currier. This is based on conversations with law enforcement as well as evidence found on his personal computer and recovered items they believe belonging to the Curriers. Beyond these 3 victims, we don't know for sure who else, if anyone, was a victim of Keys, though he led police to believe that he was a cunning killer with a victim count of under a dozen, according to interrogation interviews. His insistence of under a dozen gave law enforcement the magic number of 11, and this vague victim count had the webs loose and Reddit communities buzzing with the possibility of linking missing person cold cases such as Maura Murray with Keys.
Why would Murray be connected to Israel Keys?
Theory here is that when Murray had her car accident in 2004, she met foul play at the hands of Keys, ostensibly because she was in the area and happened to cross her as a victim of opportunity.
I can see that happening if she was walking down the street. He came along and asked if she needed a ride.
Swooped in and got her.
And she was like, yeah.
Maybe
her attendant was like, well, can you just take me to, like, maybe the nearest gas station?
Or somewhere, yeah.
Unless he so happened to be going where she was going, and she's like, well, can I ride with you? But I would like to think that maybe she was just like, can you take me to the nearest gas station?
Mm-hmm. But, like, what are the chances of someone...
I mean, that's the scary part. It's like that saying, you walk by so many people and you don't know...
Which one's a serial killer?
Yeah, which one's a serial killer. Like, every day you're walking, with a lot of people, and...
You could be walking by one.
That could be one of them, and you're just lucky enough to be, like, not that one,
Well, the time frame fits, and we already believe she got picked up by somebody, so...
Yeah.
And the dog,
They stopped their scent at the street. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's also been suggested that Keys might have stalked her beforehand and made her disappearance like the result of a car accident, since he bragged during police interviews that some of his alleged murders were ruled accidents by law enforcement.
So that's like his motive?
I guess some of it, yeah.
But I'm wondering how is he stalking her, though? Like, was he stalking her because, like, he, like, saw her somewhere and started stalking her?
Yeah. But, yeah, that's true. How would he stalk her?
Yeah, unless he spotted her.
While she was gassing up?
Maybe he was, like, at the place where she went to go get her alcohol at.
Oh, yeah.
And he saw her and he just started following her because it was, like, the girl buying all this alcohol. Where's she going? I'm trying to get him. Maybe had a conversation with her, maybe?
Too many coincidences on this one, right?
And then he followed her. Maybe he was the one who put the rag in her muffler while she was inside.
Yeah.
But like you said, it wouldn't stop the car, but maybe he thought it would.
True.
And he saw that maybe he was there any fender benders in the back? Like maybe he bumped her and she kind of like hit it?
I don't think so.
I think it was all in the front.
Yeah.
Oh, you think maybe it was just so by accident she got into that accident and he was just right behind her? When the bus driver see him, though?
Yeah. See, that's true.
Unless he came after the bus driver.
See, that's true, too.
He wasn't just necessarily stalking her, but it was just like an opportunity.
Yeah.
They would have to be at the same place somewhere. Either the gas station where she filled up her gas.
Yeah.
Did she buy alcohol there, or did she go to
I think it was a liquor store.
She went to the liquor store.
So it was either the gas station or the liquor store?
Yeah. There's 3 possible connections to Israel Keys and Maura.
Maura was traveling through Israel's stomping grounds. According to the internet, Maura's travels through New Hampshire put her in a prime location to be hunted by Keys, who was said to have favored the East Coast. Indeed, he murdered the Curriers in Vermont and was known to have traveled to New Hampshire and New York.
So he was in the area.
Yeah, I was going to say, so he knows the area then.
The Northeast, yeah.
Did he know the Curriers, or they were just random?
I think they were just random.
I believe, yeah, they were just random.
Okay, where were they found? In their home?
Vermont, yeah.
I don't think they were ever found.
No, they were never found?
I don't know.
Oh, you see.
However, the Currier murders took place 7 years after Maura's disappearance and could be tracked through flight records and car rentals. To call the East Coast his stomping grounds is a solid stretch after a quick study of Keys' known movements, which rarely brought him to that side of the country in comparison to his time spent in Alaska, which was the location of his only confirmed murder, California and Washington.
So, like, That's why it's hard to say it's him, because he might have been in the area, but then he might have not been in the area.
Yeah, because I guess they're trying to say, like, that wasn't really his stomping grounds. Like, because he doesn't do, like, all of his killings there.
Yeah.
It just so happened to be the couple that he murdered there.
Mm-hmm.
And for it to say him, then she would have to have been, like, at the wrong place
at the wrong time.
Because he just so happened to be traveling through there.
Israel was traveling during the week Murray disappeared. On February 9, 2004, the same day that Maura disappeared, Keyes was tracked to Utah, where he had rented a silver Volkswagen Jetta that was, per a rental policy, not allowed to leave the state. Over the week of February 6th through February 13th, he racked up just over 500 miles in his rental, so we know he couldn't have used his vehicle to get to New Hampshire, where Murray was last reported to have been seen. However, some believe that Keyes could have used this rental to drive to and from a nearby airport, hopping a flight to the East Coast and giving him enough time to return to Utah following Murray's disappearance.
See, I don't know, that's a stretch to me.
Yeah, I mean, just to go over there to find someone to kill and hop back on the plane and leave.
Then come back,
Yeah,
it's far-fetched.
I don't know, man.
That one's kind of out there.
Keep in mind, though, that in order to do this, Keyes would have had to use his name, not known to authorities, while he traveled, since the FBI has an extensive timeline of his movements using his known name from the summer of 1997 to his death in 2012.
So they already knew him?
Yeah.
So they were keeping tabs on him anyway?
Yeah.
Either way, even if he wasn't doing anything at that time, they still knew his whereabouts?
Yes.
So that makes it even more far-fetched.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then they would have been like, they would have already had him in questioning the day she disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
But is there any way that he could have gone around them to say that he
a fake name, maybe?
A fake name, like it says. He had to have used a fake name to get around it.
Yeah. I wonder if they talked to the gas attendants and the people at the liquor store to see if there was anyone else that
I'm pretty sure they could have looked at the
surveillance
cameras.
And I think they would have recognized him, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's our guy.
Mm-hmm.
Israel was in New Hampshire on October 2004. Perhaps the most intriguing and least buzz about Murray Keyes' connection is the fact that the FBI has placed Keyes in Manchester, New Hampshire from October 6th to the 16th in 2004. Only 8 months after Murray was last seen. Even weirder, Manchester is only 105 miles from Woodsville, Murray's last known location, which is a measly 2-hour drive via I-83 from where Keyes was during that fall.
Huh. But this was after her disappearance, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so why would they try to connect it? But he has never been known the one to go back to the crime scene, right? Like some of them do?
I don't think
how
so.
like Ted Bundy would save his victims and he would go back later and...
Yeah. I don't think so.
We do know that in Koenig's case, Keyes was straight up creepy in the comment section of news stories following her murder.
You see, and he didn't do that with Maura then, right?
Yeah.
Because she was all over Facebook. But do you all know anything about the Samantha Koenig murder? Have you all heard about it? So
yeah.
it's not worldwide. Have you?
I haven't.
I was gonna because I don't I'm into the true crime, but
yeah.
like I said, like at some point I have to kind of take a break for it because then I'm kind of like on edge, like 24/7, looking at everyone all weird. But I haven't heard of her. So was she missing and found murdered, or was just found murdered? Samantha Koenig.
She was kidnapped from a coffee house.
Oh,
he kidnapped her. He took her to his house and he killed her there. And he cut her up and threw her in a lake.
Oof.
Yeah. Well, you see, they didn't search the river or anything, but because of the Cavalier dogs, right? Searching only up to where they found her
street.
Up to the street.
Yeah.
Here he uses his own name to comment on the story about Koenig's disappearance, which in a way could be viewed as returning to the scene of the crime. Was he doing this by returning to New Hampshire, or was his visit following Maura Murray's headline-breaking case a total coincidence?
I think it was a
coincidence.
Coincidence.
I think so.
Coincidence too,
I don't think it was him.
He was commenting about Koenig's disappearance,
and
I think he would have done the same thing with Maura
Murray. Yeah.
I think it was just all like hearsay, maybe.
Yep. I don't think it was him.
Yeah. I think it was someone else.
Just a random person.
I think, my theory is I think it was a random person and he was trying to make moves and when she resisted, he got upset.
And killed her. Or Yeah.
Trying to...
I think she's dead.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just so... how so many people's bodies are being found and the remains are being found, and we just no one has found hers, and that's why I'm saying like maybe whoever picked her up killed her in his car and just drove as far away as he could and just dumped her somewhere there.
It's sad.
Yeah.
All right, what do you guys think about this case?
It was very interesting.
That was crazy.
It was, right?
A lot of theories on what could have happened.
So many twists and turns.
Hope you all enjoyed this episode of the 4 True Crime Idiots podcast. Please rate us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, or wherever you may listen. Please follow us, the 4 True Crime Idiots podcast, on all of our social media platforms. All the links will be in the description. Until the next episode,
stay vigilant.
Stay safe.
Beware of your surroundings.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.